Welcome back to the Frontline Club. We're here today officially to talk about apps, but actually it was all about journalism again, which is pretty dull. But here's a man who actually can talk about apps. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Ryan from Witness.
So what does Witness do?
We're a human rights organization that works with video and technology for change.
Okay, so you have an app. Tell us about it.
We have actually a suite of apps. It's called Secure Smart Cam, and we've recognized, as many others have, that many people around the world now have the technology to film and take images. So these three apps are for Android. We've released one already. It's been downloaded over 25,000 times, and this first app allows the user to blur or mask images when taking a photo, and it can also strip the metadata that the photo will hold, so that will provide more security.
Can I ask you, does it work with video or is it only photos?
The video is a second app, so that's Obscura Cam Video, which is coming out yet this year.
Okay, so who are these apps for?
Well, we made them in partnership with the Guardian Project with human rights defenders in mind, but also citizen journalists or anyone who's got a phone who's using it to film content for human rights, really.
Okay, can you see that every single activist video is going to have big black squares in front of everyone's faces and we won't be able to tell stories anymore? What's your solution for that?
Well, I think it's that we need to, number one, protect the identity of the people who are being interviewed if their security is at risk, right? And we also need to have an ongoing conversation with the user who's holding the camera or the mobile phone and whatever they're filming. We need to continue that conversation, make sure that there's informed consent, that everyone knows what the footage is going to be used for. And what's important is that that there is a story, that there is a context that's explained, that it's not just about images and graphic images, it's about hearing the human story behind the blur.
So yeah, because the kind of human story is kind of very much expressed in people's faces and their actions. I like the idea of the app. It's just, it seems that we're going to have this whole danger of maybe 6 months of just everything blurred out, which could be a bit of a disaster for storytelling. So I was going to ask you a question, because I checked out your website. Would it be possible to put a disclaimer on the top of your website saying this app is only for 0.001% of people, so don't use it in everyday life because it's not what it's for. It's only for these limited thing, and then maybe say what the limited thing. Otherwise, everyone's going to use it, and lots of people are going around telling other people they have to use it, and we want to avoid that because we like people's expressions.
I think most people who will use the app for human rights purposes and blur out will have that conversation, and will use it for that purpose. If you're filming your family or your wedding, you're probably not going to blur out the bride's face, So I think you're safe. I think that more and more people will, not use the app if it's not necessary, and hopefully it'll get into the right hands.
I've got a feeling actually it's going to become very fashionable, and everyone's going to insist you have to use it, no matter how fluffy your action, and people's faces shouldn't be in shot. I'm a little worried about that.
But maybe late night at the pub, maybe you hope your friend actually did blur out your face or put a mask on it because that's gone up on Facebook and all your coworkers have seen it. So
that's a good point. Okay, how can people find out more about this app?
Witness.org.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, Frontline Club, let's see if we can find somebody else to talk about technology rather than that boring old subject of journalism.